With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, Swift Motorsports Butt Kicker Ayer's iRacing paints. ARCA Series fires things on for the first time here in season number 4 at the granddaddy of them all. That's right, Daytona International Super Speedway, hosting race number 170 laps around this 2.5-mile track. Track looks pretty nice out there, 65-degree air temperature, nice cool breeze rolling off the ocean. How you doing? How you feeling out there in TV Land, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave in the Cave bringing you all the calls from the trackside. Want to give a big shout out to all the sponsors here in Swift Motorsports as we get set to end the 2021 year with season number 4 now underway. Over 20 drivers at the track to make the season debut here for the Ayer's iRacing Paints ARCA Series. New car this season, new look, some new faces. Well, we've got some familiar ones out there still. Donald Bennett returning to the track, switching numbers from the 31. Now Bennett going to be sporting that 34 machine. Jim Thorndike, Eric Talent back once again. Jason Branch, there's a familiar name. He's back running in the field tonight. Lee Staples, Jerry Cochran, Noah Owens, Lee Campbell also here tonight. Todd McGregor, always fast. Look for McGregor to be near the front. Hunter Collier going to put in a time lapse. So as this 5-minute qualifying session continues to run on down, we'll continue to throw those times up there on the scoring charts for you. You'll see some drivers out there jumping around, getting their time in. Ryan Douglas sitting top of the speed charts, 49.30 in this 5-minute qualifying session. 2.5 minutes already off of the stopwatch. Halfway through, who's going to take the first pole of season number 4? Just about half of the drivers, or I should say a little bit more than half now, as it looks like we've got 14 drivers on the qualifying board. There you can see 15 now, as Doug Blackman gonna take the final spot on the stopwatch, running 15th here. But as we all know, Daytona International Super Speedway, one of those restrictor plate tracks that, well, you don't have to be the fastest by yourself, because hopefully you find yourself a running partner all the way to the end and you can make a move coming off of turn 4 and take the checkered flag. How are things going to go down this year to round out the season opener? We've seen in the past few seasons here on the Turn 3 Racing Network with the Swift Motorsports Butt Kicker Ayer's iRacing Paints ARCA Series, we've seen a lot of green flag running, flag to flag. Will we see the season opener green flag to flag? I wouldn't put any money on it. It is restrictor plate racing at that. Mr. Muth checking in over there on the chat on the YouTube side of things. How you doing, bud? Good to see you out there. Dave also out there in the chat as always. Good to see you hanging around, catching up, doing some good things. Hopefully, audio isn't too bad for you gentlemen here tonight. With just about 30 seconds remaining, Jerry Cochran gonna take the pole position here tonight. Quick time in qualifying, 49.18 for the 18 Ford. Out there piloted by Jerry Cochran. We'll have to get a look at the make of that car. It might be the Fusion, I believe, back in this era of car, this style of car. And Cochran looks like he is indeed going to secure that pole. So we're going to step away from the track for just a brief moment, get things set up for your starting lineup and your national anthem. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And back trackside as drivers begin to make their way through final pre-race inspection. Well, we normally would give you your championship standings coming into tonight's race, but well, there's no championship standings to talk about as this is the first race of the season. That's right, season number 4 getting ready to kick off. Final few drivers hitting their starting spots on pit road, getting through that final pre-race inspection. We'll take a look at the pit road. Let's see, we've got about, I think it is a 21 car field here tonight for race number 1. 70 laps around this monster 2.5 mile super speedway track. It is going to be quite a night for some of these drivers making their debut. Looks like the 55 Michael Amenti out there, newcomer fresh face for him. Logan Hartman making his return. He was around towards the end of the season last season in season number 3. Look for Hartman to make a big splash. Lee Staples running well at the end of last season. Todd McGregor also big hitter in the field as always. The 22 of Jason Branch right there starting inside your top 5. Final few drivers finally getting and making their way through pre-race inspection. Looks like they've got just a little bit of time to get to their starting spot on pit road. And as you can hear those familiar sounds in the background, you know what time it is. Let's roll with the starting lineup for tonight's Daytona 70 right here in Swift Motorsports. Butt kicker, Ayers iRacing Paints ARCA Series. Jerry Cochran gonna snatch the first pole of the year. 49.17 pole position for Cochran. He'll start inside row number 1 just to his outside. The fast 59 of Jim Thorndike. Row number 2 here tonight, Hunter Collier, followed by Jason Branch. Back in row number 3, the 89 of Eric Talent and the 41 of Pierce Maffett. Sean Mitchell, Ryan Douglas making up row number 4. Row number 5 tonight, the 71 of Todd McGregor and Michael Amenti. Veteran 5 of Lee Staples lining up inside row number 6 just to his outside. The 14 of Lee Campbell. Row number 7 tonight, Logan Hartman. In the 88 of Noah Owens. Trouble on the start. Oh my goodness, we've got drivers around before we even get to the green flag in the back. The 25 of Doug Blackman, supposed to be in 17th. He's going to start a little bit further back than that. The Cuban Missile Rocket, Roy Fernandez. In that familiar 3 machine, he'll line up in 18th tonight. John McMillan Sr. back in 19th. Justin Gann in the admin booth. Looks like possibly David Cameron, Donald Bennett will round out the field, as we've got a few big names up there in that admin booth here tonight. Gonna watch this start, how it all goes down. Keep drivers straight. Pace car gonna duck off for the first time, and we're gonna get set to throw the green flag for the first time in season number 4. Down and away, nailing the gas, and green flag flies as season 4's now underway. Teammates lined up on the outside row. They're going to look for their partner in crime. There you can see that familiar paint scheme, just 1 car back. The 41 of Pierce Maffitt separating those drivers on the outside. They're going to look to try to hook up and try to run back down the 18 and the 98. They've got one heck of a start here so far. Hunter Collier pushing that 18 out there, but here surges the outside lane, and we'll see this all night long. You'll see that outside lane kind of gain and then lose. And oh, we've got drivers dropping from the elevator already. Looks like single file running may come early here at Daytona. Looks like drivers may not be willing to risk it just yet. And there's that 25 of Doug Blackman already down 1 lap. He's going to have to hope there's a caution flag at some point in time, because I think he's going to be in danger of losing a second lap. He's by himself, making it off of pit road after trouble coming to the start of tonight's race. Didn't make it down the backstretch before that. 25 seen his first spell of trouble, and we've got drivers in the back trying to duck out, and it creates some calamity and chaos. The 9's contact with the 88, more contact, the 34 involved. Caution on the speedway. Donald Bennett gets collected. The 69 of Larry Poling is collected. The 51 of John McMillan Sr. involved as well. Multiple drivers caught up very early here tonight in this, our first caution flag of the season. It looks like the 10 also caught up. David Cameron caught up in this one as well. Let's take a look back, see how it all went down. It looks like we're catching that a little bit late. Let's see if we can back that up a little bit more. There's Noah Owens involved. Oh, and there's the 69 of Poling, nowhere to go. 24 comes around. He gets caught up in it as well. Donald Bennett, let's take a look from Bennett's point of view. Here comes Bennett into the picture, trying to get woed up, gets loose on the apron, comes up into Poling, right back into the 9. Big, heavy contact for those 3 drivers. Whew. That's kind of rough one right there. First caution of the season. We'll slow it on down back to a crawl, so that's going to give us our first caution flag of the night. Still just 1 race leader so far. Your pollster, Jerry Cochran, has led all 3 laps. And if you could be lucky with a caution coming out so early, you would have to be that 25 of Doug Blackman. Looks like he's going to be able to get the wave around. He'll receive the lucky dog as long as he was not part of any of that contact, and I don't believe he was, so look for him to get that lucky dog here. I do believe this time by, and yes, indeed, there he is outside going around the pace car. He'll get himself back onto the lead lap, so a huge misfortune coming to the start of the race. Turns out to be a big gain, as Blackman was right around where that trouble started. That's where he would have lined up. So unfortunately, he fortunately missed it. Does that make any logical sense? Well, y'all know me. Y'all know I don't make sense anyway. Multiple drivers on the pit road fixing their cars. Excuse me, Larry Poling, David Bennett, Jerry Cochran down on the pit road for an extended stay. The 9 of Ryan Douglas, he's going to join them on pit road for a while. Looks like Noah Owens, extensive stay on pit road as well. Doug Blackman, he was on pit road for quite some time as well, so he had some damage when he came down to pit road. That initial time after trouble coming to the start of tonight's race, and you may hear me mention that quite a few times here tonight, because that is the first time we've seen that so far here with Swift Motorsports. The first time we've had trouble making it to the green flag before we might have had a caution flag. Big trouble early for some more drivers. Looks like Douglas, Cochran, Bennett, and Poling all going to fall at least one lap down. Larry Poling listed as 2 laps down. Jim Thorndike going to come to pit road this time around. Looks like he's going to go ahead and top off the 59. And we've seen drivers dropping from the front to the rear. We've seen them down there near that yellow line, making their way back onto the track, into the racing line. Did that cause the calamity? Did that cause the problem in the issues at the front? Drivers not wanting to be at the front, heading to the back. We had our first caution moments ago. We'll get set to go back. Green flag racing. Drivers gonna get set to get double file halfway down the back stretch. Here we go once again at Daytona International Super Speedway. A little bit of clouds out there. Cloud cover is pretty massive, actually. That's going to lend its hand to the cool temperatures. Let the track grip up a little bit. Track shouldn't see too high of a temperature with some cloud cover like that. Looks like the field going to make their way through 3 and 4. Field going to begin to make their way out of turn number 4. Pace car set to duck on off, and we'll get set to fire things off once again into the restart box. Wait for it. Green flag flies once again here at Daytona International Super Speedway. All drivers all on the gas. Nobody really jockeying for positions, coming right at you, right into your living room through turn 1. Down and around this high bank here. Look at that beautiful sunset off in the distance. Drivers going to make their way off of turn 2 down the backstretch, clean and green since the restart. Great camera work out there by everybody back at the turn 3 headquarters. Big shout out and hats off to each and every one of you behind the scenes making this thing happen, bringing us all these great camera shots here tonight. The 18 of Jerry Cochran, your pole sitter. He's led every lap of the race, but the 98 of Hunter Collier, he's had enough pushing. He's looking to lead a few laps. He'll make the high side work with help by the 58. Give Collier a lap lead. That's going to give us 1 lead change amongst 2 different drivers. Outside lane really prevailing right now. Big push by that 58. He's got the 55 of Michael Amenti right behind him. Amenti making a big splash here. Debut race, can he find his way into a podium spot and into a post-race interviews? Those 3 cars stacked up on the outside. Amenti can't quite clear. He's going to try to side draft. Ooh, got a little bit close there with that 71 of Todd McGregor. McGregor sporting the Mobile 1 Bass Pro Shop Tracker sponsored Chevy this season. A little bit of a different paint scheme on that 71 than what we're used to seeing. The Blues die-cast drivers out there on the outside lane getting the job done. Collier going to fall back now as Jerry Cochran goes back to the point. You know, race fans, we're going to talk strategy a little bit early here tonight. I know what you're thinking, Dave. It's lap 8. There's 70 laps. It's race 1. How much strategy could you really be thinking about? Well, you got drivers that have at least 3 to 5 laps fresher tires. They've got that much more fuel as well. So look for the green flag pit stop to be pretty mixed up. Will we see drivers utilize that team run a little bit more this year? Will we see some more manufacturer running going on this season in this newer ARCA car? I wonder what drivers are going to want to do, if they're going to want to stick, Ford to Ford, Chevy to Chevy. It is a Chevy-dominated field, but we've got two fast Fords in the top four, Jerry Cochran and Lee Campbell sitting back in the fourth spot in his 14 machine. Campbell tucked in right behind the Mobile One Bass Pro Shops Tracker 71 of Todd McGregor. Hunter Collier, he's fallen back now. He's the last driver inside the top five. Where's Lee Staples and Pierce Maffett? They're 7th and 8th on the speedway. And Minty, who was right there, almost in the third position. He's dropped now outside of your top 10. Minty back running in the 11th position. 10 laps into this 70-lap event. Good buddy Jeff Gluckner checking in out there over on the YouTube chat. Good to see you, Jeff. Also good to see you out there, Gary. Justin checking in. What do you think of that? Blue Angels? Maybe. Maybe. We got the hookup around here. Having a hook up right now, that's the man at the front, Jerry Cochran. He's been hooked up since qualifying began. He was one of the top drivers in happy hour, but really flexing the muscle on that single car speed in qualifying. Walked away with the pole position. 49.18 was the time for qualifying. We have well surpassed that here tonight for race pace. Looks like fastest time out there, I do believe, belongs to the 10 of David Cameron. Oh, I do apologize. No, that is going to go to the 25, actually, of Blackman. A 46.49, the fast time on the track during race pace. So Blackman having trouble, but having the fastest lap of the race so far here. Cochran with that single car speed, able to keep himself out in front of these hard-charging drivers. Eric Talent running that solid black 89 machine. He's been running up here in the front all race long as well, up 3 spots from where he started tonight's race. But biggest mover, well, that's that 25 of Blackman. He had trouble on the start, was down a lap, and has come back. And he is back inside the top 10, running in the 8th spot, up 9 positions from where he started tonight's race. Looks like a little bit of trouble there for a few drivers that are going to collect themselves, get single file once again as we begin lap number 13 out of the 70 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. And as we look through this field, as we're going to highlight a few of the drivers throughout the night, Kevin Burrows, last year's champion, walked away from the ARCA series last year with 6 wins, 12 top 5s, and 13 top 10s on his way to securing his championship in the Butt Kickers Ayers iRacing Paints ARCA Series season number 3. Burrows, look for him to be back on track in the Performance Truck Series right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. You can check that out each and every Tuesday night. Come check this racing action out each and every Monday night here in the Ayers iRacing Paints ARCA Series. You can find them each and every Monday night right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Some big races definitely coming up right around the corner for all of these drivers. All of these series really just getting fired back up, getting ready to go once again. So look for a lot of great racing action coming up here in the next few weeks. Gonna try to take a look at this schedule for you real quick. Let's see if we can't tell you about some of the great racing coming up here with Swift Motorsports. Next week we will hit Charlotte Motor Speedway. That's right, hometown track for Dave in the Cave, so look for that to be a great one. Gonna be down there in Concord, getting ready for not only the Swift Motorsports runs that they're going to have at Charlotte Motor Speedway, but right across the track The Dirt Nationals coming to the dirt track at Charlotte, so look for that. If you haven't been to the dirt track at Charlotte, you got to get there. Beautiful racing when you come to the dirt track at Charlotte and Charlotte Motor Speedway. Right now, things getting broke up at the front. Jerry Cochran continues to lead Eric Talent. Todd McGregor sits in third. Fourth place is Hunter Collier, and rounding out your top five is Sean Mitchell. Drivers begin to look for that single file run. Look for green flag pit stops here very shortly. Race number 3 this year is going to be Atlanta. Then we'll head to Richmond, Michigan, and Dover. That's just the first few races. That's a tough little schedule. Lots of different tracks right there. So look for some great racing action here in the first few weeks of the Ayers iRacing Paints ARCA series. We said drivers may be getting single file looking for their run to pit road, but it looks like no. A lot of these drivers are still willing to mix it up. And why don't we jump on board? Got an onboard camera shot. We'll jump inside the 55 with Michael Amenti as he runs right behind the 5 of Lee Staples in the StepTire.com. Number 5, you can hear that lift inside that Chevy of Amenti as he tries to just stay right in the draft, not really looking to go anywhere right now, just content running in that 7th position. Whoa, bit of a moment. We'll jump back out of the car, see if we can't show you a little bit more of the racing action going on here. Big moment there for the Menards 55 machine. Pierce Mappin right behind him. No real clear-cut winner, no clear-cut leader so far. Jerry Cochran has pretty much handled the field, though, taking that pole position and continuing to lead lap after lap. Ryan Douglas, and it looks like Larry Poling, they're coming off of pit road after very, very long stays. They are scored multiple laps down, and unfortunately it does look like we do have a few drivers out of tonight's race already. Looks like the 82 of Jerry Cochran and the 34 of Donald Bennett gonna be the first 2 racers out of tonight's season opener here at Daytona International Super Speedway for Swift Motorsports Butt Kicker Ayers iRacing Paints ARCA Series. Like those teammates starting to head their way back towards the front. The 55 of a Mini. No, that is actually the 59 of Jim Thorndike and the 22 of Jason Branch. Thorndike and Branch may have joined forces, and you know that's going to be an interesting little battle if they are now teammates, as those 2 drivers seem to find themselves battling week in and week out for race wins last season. So will that cause some friction later on in the year between teammates? We'll have to wait to see how all of that plays out as drivers continue this long green flag run after an early caution here tonight at Daytona International Super Speedway. Not much to talk about at the front as everybody's single file following your pole sitter, the 18 of Jerry Cochran. Give the man credit where credit is due. The 18 has led all but about 3 laps of tonight's race, so look for that 18 to head to victory lane in that. I do believe that is the Jaden Bell photography machine. Let's get a little closer. Grayson Jade, there you go. Do apologize, Jerry, and to your sponsors as well. I mean, Dave was halfway right. So that's got to count for something, right? Right? great look at those drivers and what they do in their office, getting the job done, business being handled inside of that 18 right now as Cochran continues to lead this entire field. We'll jump around the track just a little bit, back up from the action, bring a little bit more of it to you. Tell you what, haven't been to this one yet. Let's take a look at these drivers as they head out of turn number 2 and down the back stretch. They'll head into turn 3. Right at you once again, coming through turns 3 and 4. Big run. There's one driver struggling to keep himself on the lead lap as everybody goes around. The drivers at the bottom coming right at you. Ooh, up close and in contact. Trouble on the track. Lee Staples with some trouble. Jason Branch, Michael Amenti involved. Oh my, oh my. Let's go back, see how it went down, see what happened here. Oh my goodness. Oh, and there's the contact. Looks like Staples just came up the track. We'll take one more look at it here. And yeah, there it is. Staples just coming up the track just slightly. Back it up just a little bit further than that. There's Staples, bobble on the bottom. He's going to come up right into Amenti. Amenti's going to collect the 22 of Jason Branch. He'll head off down. Ooh, tough break there for Branch. What do you say we back it up one more time? See what happened with Jason Branch here. There goes Branch down to the inside. Does he keep it out of the inside wall? Somehow keeps it out of the inside wall. So he's going to minimize the damage sustained there. Fortunately for him, he does not make contact with that inside safer barrier. Keeps it out of the grass as well, not to crinkle up that splitter any more than what it already is. So we'll jump back live. There you can see the field. And it looks like most of them will be heading to pit lane this time around, so we'll stay with the drivers at the front as Jerry Cochran leads this field down pit road. And as we come to our first pit stop of the night, second caution of the evening, we're going to step away for a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
We got big time problems with that motor, buddy. Hey, just between you and me, the idea is to avoid the other cars. Congratulations! You just set the sport back 30 years with that move. That move will put you in the Hall of Shame. You keep doing stuff like that and we're going to lose our sponsor. Looks like that's it for us today. Now I know why you got canned by your old team. It's over. We can't fix that damage. Looks like your car is toast. You'll need a tow back to pit lane. Press and hold your reset button and we'll come and get you.
Coming back trackside as drivers begin to get double file. We'll get a little bit closer to the action once again. We've had a change at the front. Hunter Collier takes back control of the race lead, so that's going to be our third lead change of the night amongst just two different drivers, Jerry Cochran and Hunter Collier. Those are the only two drivers to lead this race. Collier leading for just one lap earlier here tonight. Every other lap has been led by Jerry Cochran in that Grayson Jade 18 photography machine. But Ken Collier, now that he's at the front and has that preferred inside starting position, will he be able to dominate the race for a handful of laps? We'll have to wait to see how it all goes, how it all plays out. Field gets ready to fire things back off once again, off of turn number 4. Onto the front stretch, away the pace car goes, and here we go. Green flag flies. Once again, the boss man gets the wave, the green flag over the field. Beautiful night of racing here as we've watched that sunset off in the distance. Drivers gonna get ready to raise the first trophy of the season under the lights, and look at Cochran fade. Cochran from second back to fourth, now to fifth. He's falling on the outside lane. We've seen that on the initial start of the race. We've seen it on the restart after our first caution, and now we have seen that outside lane struggle once again. The 58 of Sean Mitchell, he's going to line up right behind the L&J welding machine. I believe that is the L&J welding sponsored machine, piloted by Hunter Collier right there, leading the field. 58 tucked in right behind him. 71 of Todd McGregor in tow, and more contact. Looks like we've got drivers around. Oh my gosh. Jason Branch, Jim Thorndike, I think Lee Campbell involved. Oh my gosh. That's another tough one right there. Let's see if we can't see what happened here with our turn 3 replay. And oh my gosh, lots of drivers getting piled up into this one. Try to watch it back here, and there's the carnage and chaos already taking place up at the front of the field. Oh my goodness. Let's take one more look here. The 55 involved. Big slides out of the 55. One more time. Catching it late here. Looks like we're missing it a little bit with the drivers involved. We'll try to take one more stab at it there, and it's not going to work out for us. So, well, there you can see carnage, chaos, multiple drivers involved in this one. The field going to get a little bit slimmer after that. Back at the front with your race leader, your survivors at the front, I should say. Collier, Mitchell, McGregor, Maffitt, Blackman, Jason Branch. Jason Branch does have some damage back in the 5th spot. 6th position, I should say. Lee Staples right there running in 7th. Jim Thorndike, Lee Campbell, Noah Owens, Michael Amenti, Jerry Cochran, Logan Hartman, all involved in this latest incident. Your 3rd caution of the night. Oh my, oh my. And, you know, we love when business is good, and business going to be real good for one of the title sponsors here with Swift Motorsports, and that's Ayer's iRacing Paints. He's about to get busy because drivers going to need a lot of fresh cars after this one. Even the 5 of Lee Staples, he's going to need a new wrap on that machine, so look for the people at Ayer's iRacing Paints to be pretty busy fixing up these rides for these Swift Motorsports drivers, getting them ready for their later restrictor plate race this season. Look for them to have their hands full. My goodness, that was, yeah, that was pretty. That was pretty bad. I was trying to find a way to get around saying it, but that was about 5 drivers caught up and involved with our third incident. We've seen 3 to 4 drivers caught up and involved in our first big incident of the night, so that is going to put more than half of the field with damaged cars here tonight. As Lee Staples, he stayed out on track. He does have quite a bit of significant front-end damage on the front end of that 5 machine. Look for him to try to stay out to lead a lap here. Hunter Collier beating everybody off of pit road. The 98 will be the fastest driver on 4 fresh tires. Sean Mitchell, Pierce Maffin, Todd McGregor lined up right behind them. How about that 25 of Doug Blackman? He had trouble coming to the green flag on the backstretch, had it into the outside wall, and here he is running solidly inside the top 10, and looks like he's going to have a very good day here today. Looks like he's going to walk away with possibly a top 5 after that trouble, so it's just that quick how things can change here at Daytona International Super Speedway as we kick things off for season number 4 here with Swift Motorsports Butt Kicker Ayers iRacing Paints ARCA Series. Yeah, man, I tell you, that's a tough one for a lot of these drivers. We have got a lot of, I don't want to necessarily say heavy hitters because it's very early in the season, so you don't really know who those heavy hitters truly are just yet. But if you can base it off of the previous seasons that we've had here with these Swift Motorsports drivers, it looks like we've got some big names, I should call it, out of the race here tonight. Donald Bennett being caught up and involved. David Cameron involved. Logan Hartman, Noah Owens involved. Todd McGregor caught up and involved in some earlier incidents. Not Todd McGregor, I apologize. Jason Branch and Jim Thorndike caught up involved in some shenanigans, some mess. Either way, we'll get set. We'll get ready to fire things back off once again. Pace car ducks off. Field in the hands of the 98. He's going to start on the outside lane. Restart box. There it is. Green flag flies once again as we cross the line to begin lap number 31 out of the 70 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. Drivers big pushing at the start here. The 41 of Pierce Maffin, just absolutely monstrous push. That's going to get the 98 of Hunter Collier well and clear. 41 going to follow suit to the bottom lane, and that will put us 4 deep, single file on the inside. The 58 of Sean Mitchell right there. 71 of Todd McGregor. Now the 25, he's starting to fall through the field just a little bit, fall off of the pace. The 59 of Jim Thorndike, he's trying to grab a hold of these drivers, but it looks like he's moving to the rear of the field. In contact, more trouble here tonight. Looks like this one may have involved the 25 of Doug Blackman, and there you can see Blackman down to the inside of the field. Just right across the nose of Jim Thorndike, and big contact for the 55. Already injured and hurt Michael Amenti. He collects a little more damage. So we'll jump back to the front of the field with your race leader, Hunter Collier. And as the field comes to a crawl, we're going to step away for a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back here from Daytona International Super Speedway. And as we come back live trackside overhead with our Turn 3 drone cam, as you've seen it right there on the screen, we do appreciate each and every one of you out there that joined us in that push to 2,000 subscribers. Let's keep this thing rolling, get it where it should be, and that's at the top of these broadcasting lists and platforms. Let's join that rundown. Let's see if we can't get it up to 3,000 subscribers by this time next year. Don't forget to drop these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash that bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by. Pace car lights have gone out. Once again, field begins to get double file through turns 1 and 2. Hunter Collier will have control of the restart. He elects the inside lane this time. So what do you say we get a little bit closer once again to all of this great racing action here at Daytona International Super Speedway? And we've seen, I'll call it 3 medium ones here tonight at the first restrictor plate race of season number 4. And it's going to be tough to say if we're going to see the big one, with those 3 smaller incidents taking out quite a few drivers here tonight. Looks like the field is down to just about, looks like 12 drivers still out there on the track. We've still got a few of them on pit lane trying to fix up their machine to come back out and gain anything that they can. Field gonna wait for the iRacing Ford Mustang to duck on off. Let's see when the boss man gonna drop that green flag once again into the restart box. And green flag flies as Hunter Collier gonna nail the gas. They'll head down toward turn number 1. Oh, here we go. Got the digger cam down there in the corner. Wait for it. Wait for it. Woo. Man, I tell you, it doesn't get much better than a camera like that up close and personal right there. Get to feel the sights and sounds right here from Daytona International Super Speedway. We'll jump back out at the front as now Pierce Maffitt, he's going to lead a lap here. That's going to bring us with our 5th different lead change of the night amongst 4 different drivers. Maffitt leading for the first time here. Hunter Collier, previous leader, right behind him. The 58 of Sean Mitchell. Todd McGregor in that 71. He's still holding on to those top 3 drivers. McGregor, I don't believe McGregor's had any damage. Looking through all the incident reports here, we're not seeing anything listed for that 71, so it looks like McGregor may have had a pretty clean night here so far. And there you can see drivers right behind this front 4 pack. Those 3 lined up with each other. Jason Branch, John McMillan Sr., Jim Thorndike. All 3 of them have had trouble, and they are having trouble maintaining pace and keeping up with the Fast 4 at the front. It's an all Chevy show at the front. Just one Ford Mustang, one Ford Fusion inside the top 5, and that is that 22 of Jason Branch. You wouldn't know it. No front clip on that 22. Big push out of the 51 as they slowly walk away from Jim Thorndike. Thorndike is going to lose the draft from these 2 drivers, and look for your top 4 to set sail from here on out. We should see some pretty smooth sailing by a lot of the drivers as things have kind of calmed down and definitely spread themselves out. We'll jump around the track just a little bit, see if we have anything else going on. It doesn't look like we really got much of anything else going on out there. We do have Ryan Douglas and Larry Bowling They both rejoined tonight's race. They're out there running in 17th and 18th, trying to just gain, scratch, and claw, fight their way up through the running order, as we've got a lot of drivers out of tonight's race. Michael Ominti, Doug Blackman, Noah Owens, Logan Hartman. They're both on the pit road. Eric Talent, David Cameron, Jerry Cochran Jr., Donald Bennett. All drivers listed out of tonight's race, so 6 drivers already out of the race, and we've got drivers struggling to keep and maintain race pace out there. I believe that was the 69 of Larry pulling on the high side. Could have possibly been the 9 of Ryan Douglas. We'll go back, take a look at that here in just a few moments. But I'm starting to wonder about the driver inside of that 59. Let's jump on board. See if we can't see anything here with the gyro cam as we head off into turn 3 and 4. And that's just a little bit of how that banking looks, how these drivers have to drive these machines. Roller coasters, lap after lap at 190 miles an hour plus here in the Butt Kicker Ayers iRacing Paints ARCA Series at Daytona International Super Speedway. Thorndike may just be just hanging out here, not really wanting to close that gap right now, wanting to maybe utilize a little bit of fuel saving. That could come into play a little bit later in the race. We'll have to wait to see how it all does play out, though, because with just 4 drivers right here at the front, it's going to be interesting. Or really, I mean, it's really going to be interesting to see what happens here. Are they going to break up into 2 separate 2-car packs? Is it going to be a 3-on-1? What's going to happen? What's going to go down here? As it looks like we may have some teammates. I know some drivers jumping around during silly season here in Swift Motorsports, so not really fully aware of the full team rundowns. It looks like as of this morning, some teams were not finalized just yet, so things taking place and happening right up until the last moment before at happy hour. We will get some of those team aspects and information to you next week when we head to Charlotte Motor Speedway. And now you can really see Jason Branch and John McMillan Sr. struggling to keep pace with those top 4, so it looks like McMillan Sr. getting by Jason Branch. He'll take over that 5th and final spot inside the top 5. Big Mac getting the job done here tonight. Wounded Warrior out there, if you will, up 13 positions from where he started tonight's race. John McMillan doing, doing a heck of a job with a very beaten up 51. This is really your only battle on the speedway, and that is your top 4 as they run. Pierce Maffitt leads this field. Hunter Collier right behind him. Sean Mitchell and Todd McGregor right there in that Mobil 1 Bass Pro Shops Tracker sponsored 71 machine. It looks like McGregor just kind of hanging out, biding his time. We've got a lot of time before we have to worry about the checkered flag flying. What will the 58 do? Will Sean Mitchell be content just to run third, or is he going to get fed up and try to take a run on the outside? Would McGregor go with him? Do you test the waters now? It's very early. You're not really going to lose just a 2-car draft if there's 2 of you. But I don't know. Might be worth a try. Excuse me. And there you can see, I believe that may be the 18 of Jerry Cochran falling yet another lap down here tonight. Cochran, after sitting on the pole position and dominating the first 26 laps or so of this race, finds himself multiple laps down to your race leader. 4 laps to be exact. Big turn of events for the Grayson Jade Photography sponsored 18 of Jerry Cochran. Lap traffic back markers coming into play. It's not going to mix up the top four very much at all. Jason Branch and John McMillan Jr. they're still going at it 5th and 6th on the speedway. Looks like Branch has gotten back around John McMillan Sr. and they'll stay nose to tail as they are 8.8 seconds back from Todd McGregor, a full 9.5 seconds from your race leader. So Pierce Maffitt capitalizing on some trouble out of a lot of drivers here tonight. And look at this, Ryan Douglas, Larry Poling, after being on pit road for a huge amount of time. You can see it right there, 15 and 18 laps down right now to your race leader, Pierce Maffitt. But they have fought, scratched, and clawed their way into a top 15. And if they can turn in another handful of laps, they're going to gain another few positions. They may very well be able to make their way up inside, not just the top 15, but possibly. Got to get a little help. But they could possibly see themselves back into a top 10. We race boats. I'm... What? Gary, where are you racing boats at, man? With 25 laps to go, 24 when we cross the line this time around. When will we see the final stop of the race? It does appear like, for all intents and purposes, we should see a green flag pit stop. And I think that's gonna, that very well may determine what happens here tonight. That very well may decide who walks away with the race win. As drivers exit turn number 2, they'll head down the backstretch and into turn number 3. You can see them all snaking, trying to get out of the race leader's way. Drivers down on the apron, drivers at the top of the track. Your top 4, they make their way by, no problem at all. Heading off of turn 4, they'll head back to the start-finish line, crossing the line with just 23 laps remaining here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway. We'll check back in with the weather report, see how this track has held up through tonight's race as your pole sitter Jerry Cochran goes yet another lap down. That's going to be his 5th lap down all the evening. Track temperature cooling off just about 2 degrees, about a 4-degree cool off in the air temperature for the fans in the stands here tonight. So the cloud cover, sunset, and now nightfall with a gentle breeze off of the ocean. As you got Daytona cooled down, ready for some great racing action. What's going to happen between these top 4? I mean, you got to do something. You got to figure it out. If you're running, if you're Hunter Collier, do you? I mean, you got to try something. You can't just sit here in line with 22 laps to go. There's only 4 drivers at the front. One of these drivers, they've got to duck out. They've got to try something at some point in time. Go ahead, get that measuring stick. Know what you need to know before you need to know it at the end of the race. Is it going to take me a lap? Is it going to take me a lap and a half? Will it take a corner to really get that run and make it up and past that front runner? Am I able to pull out here on the front stretch? Will McGregor go with me? If I'm Collier, will Mitchell ride with me if I take the stab at it? What's going to happen? We'll have to wait to see if any of these crew chief spotters and drivers are willing to risk a little bit of side-by-side racing action before we get down to the final few laps. 21 laps now remaining in this 70-lap event. 4 cautions on the evening here tonight has called out multiple drivers. And it looks like in total, looks like about 6, possibly 7 drivers caught up and involved in some race incidents here tonight, and that has thinned the field down quite a bit for us. We're left with 4 drivers breaking away from everybody right now. 18 seconds back from Todd McGregor is Jason Branch. John McMillan Jr. right behind him. That's the only 2 other battles for position on the speedway right now, so we'll stay glued to the action at the front of your screen as Pierce Maffitt continues to lead here at Daytona. And there it is, green flag pit stops. All 4 of them break for pit road this time by. We're going to keep it glued here. Everybody on the pit road, nice and clean. Will we see any trouble, any contact out of these drivers getting to their pit box? Everybody looks to be clean and clear so far here. Pierce Maffitt, he's going to give up the race lead for a time being. He'll come to a stop. Oh, the 58, he had to back up. How's McGregor's pit stop going? He's down and away. Looks like he's gonna get away before anybody else in the 71. Gonna walk away with a clear advantage off of pit road, but that's gonna spell trouble. Look at this trio. Tango, Van Kieran. It looks like Maffitt gonna squeeze Hunter Collier up the track just a little bit, and he'll take that second spot off of pit road. Gotta wonder if Todd McGregor's gonna back himself up, and it looks like there it is. Smart man on pit exit. Before you can blend back onto the track, he's gonna go ahead and fall back, drag the brake a little bit, get a run back here to Pierce Maffitt. Maffitt's full song. He'll go around on the outside. Looks like the 98 of Hunter Collier trying to do the same as well. The 58 has gone with him. Look for those 3 to try to team up against that 71. I do believe all 3 of those drivers are teammates lined up on the outside. They'll look to take the run and look to keep McGregor behind them. Once again, there it goes, and Maffitt back to the point once again. No official lead change there. No, the 58 up into the outside wall. The 58 gets up into the outside wall. Sean Mitchell with some trouble. That's going to allow Todd McGregor to make his way into the 3rd position. And are they starting to walk away from that 58? Mitchell better be careful here. Already back 0.3 of a second. It could be a 3-car breakaway to the end. No 3-car breakaway. Mitchell able to keep a hold of Todd McGregor. Now he's going to look to pull to the outside of McGregor. Oh my gosh. That was super close right there. 58 almost hooking the 71. McGregor's got to be careful at leaving any room on the outside. Big side draft here by the 58 of Mitchell. And that does indeed pull the 71 back just a little bit from Hunter Collier. Look for a 2-car breakaway at the front of the field. Now we're going to keep it at 4 cars at the front. Through the green flag pit stop, looks like Jason Branch has been able to separate himself from John McMillan Sr., so the battle for 5th and 6th has gone away. 5th belongs to Jason Branch, the wounded warrior with no front clip. Check him out here, soldiering on throughout the night on this 2.5-mile raceway. It's a lonely, lonely place for him right now, but he's got to watch out because the 51, he's a-coming, and he's got some help. Lee Staples right there in the draft. That's going to help out that 51 of Big Mac. John McMillan Sr. run back down Jason Branch for the final spot in the top 5. Back to the drivers at the front, though. Your front 4 still Maffitt, Collier, McGregor, and Mitchell. You know, it's kind of rough to watch them pass and lap that 18 Grayson Jade photography machine of Jerry Cochran. Cochran was in absolute command of this race. Had led the first 26 out of 28 laps of tonight's race, was the clear-cut pole sitter here tonight, had the fastest car out there, in my opinion, was going to be one of the ones that you were going to have to worry about towards the end of the race. Unfortunately, caught up and involved in an incident here tonight, and that has put him well behind the field, well behind your race leader. Almost outside of the top 10. Cochran now runs in the 9th position, and we've got a move for third, looking to the bottom. Here comes the 58. Looks like that was a squeeze play, and team move right there. They moved to the top. McGregor followed him up there. That left the door open on the bottom of the track. The 58 started to fill the hole. Then the top two dropped back down to the bottom. McGregor goes from 3rd to 4th. "13 laps now remaining for race number 1 here in season number 4 for Swift Motorsports Butt Kicker Ayers iRacing Paints ARCA Series. What a way to begin the front. Oh my, will we see Maffitt secure himself a shot at racing for the championship? Will it be Hunter Collier? Can Sean Mitchell get the job done? How about the man all by himself fighting the Three Musketeers? That's what I'm going to call them right now. The Three Musketeers at the front, all working with each other. The odd man out is Todd McGregor. He's got his work cut out for him. I don't think anybody's going to go with him if he makes a move. We've seen him work against him to put him back in that 4th position, trying to get, I believe that is Collier Motorsports drivers, Pierce Maffitt, Hunter Collier, and Sean Mitchell with a 1-2-3 in the season opener. What a bragging right that can be for a team. Put a stamp on the season early. What do you say? Back off of 4, across the line, 11 laps remain here from Daytona International Super Speedway. Don't forget, folks, coming up tomorrow night, right here, once again at Daytona International Super Speedway, we've got the Performance Truck Series coming at you. That's going to be another 70 laps here at Daytona. And then getting ready for the Silverback Tax Solutions Xfinity Series. They're going to fire things off under the lights right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network at the granddaddy of them all. That's right, once again, Daytona Super Speedway Speed Weeks underway for Swift. Just 10 laps remain, only 4 drivers at the front of this field vying for a win. John McMillan Jr. has gotten by Jason Branch. They're going to continue that battle as Lee Staples has now caught up to the 59 of Jim Thorndike, so that's going to be a battle for 7th and 8th on the track as well. Both Thorndike and Staples listed off of the lead lap. Jason Branch, last driver on the lead lap. He's trying to keep himself on the lead lap, but look for these fast 4 to catch McMillan Sr. and Branch here in the final few closing laps of tonight's race. Now just 9 remain. And again, race fans, if you haven't already, join us in that push to 3K. Drop these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash that bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by, whether you're just sliding on through to say hey, or you are one of the dedicated fans, friends, family, maybe even sponsored coming through to check out things and how things are going with the products. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. So once again, while you're here, drop these drivers that thumbs up. Back down the back stretch once again, coming right at you into turn number 3 and 4 through the center of turn 4, all lined up nose to tail. Collier Motorsports beginning to walk away from Jim Thorndike just a little, from Todd McGregor. I apologize. McGregor keeping pace, but he's got his work cut out. There you can see already a 3, almost 4. Oh, things about to get big. Oh my gosh. Evasive moves at the front. That's going to mix things up for the teammates. Here comes Todd McGregor. He's going to put himself right there, but the teammates make room in the 58. Jumps Hunter Collier. Looks like Sean Mitchell will go to second. He'll follow Pierce Maffitt. And Collier Motorsports still 1, 2, 3. Man, if you're Todd McGregor, you gotta be up there just wishing you had a teammate at some point in time, just hoping, you get somebody, you find somebody willing to help you out here, willing to run with you. Will damaged cars be enough to help? Would it work out? Would there be enough speed with some damaged cars lined up with you? There's a lot of what-ifs for that 71. He is all alone, man. I tell you what, it's going to be a Collier Motorsports dominated podium finish here tonight. I can pretty much see that coming with the hi, how you doing, high five that time around from the boss man up in the flag stand. 5 laps to go. 1, 2, 3 on the track for Collier Motorsports. Pierce Maffitt leads Sean Mitchell, and Hunter Collier running in third. Some back markers right there. That's Jason Branch. That's Lee Staples, Jim Thorndike, all right there. Branch and McMillan Sr. trying to keep themselves on the lead lap. Now race leaders caught up, pinned behind lap traffic. This could make it interesting with 4 to go this time around. McGregor looking to the bottom. He's looking to go with Branch and McMillan Sr. Pierce Maffitt looking to, go 3 wide. He's going to force it in there. It's going to be 3 wide out of turn 2. Collier Motorsports stacked up on the outside. Thorndike's going to have to jump. He's going to have to bail from that run on the inside. Otherwise, those faster, oh boy. And that's it. That's going to break up the field at the front. That's going to be a 2-car breakaway now as the 98 of Hunter Collier. He has been the sacrifice for Collier Motorsports. He's going to drop off the lead. And those top 2 drivers, Pierce Maffitt and Sean Mitchell, they're going to begin to step away as the 98 backs back to the 71 just a little bit. He's going to back up to the 22 now. Close the gap, try to keep the 71 on the outside and not able to keep down there in his draft. McGregor doing a good job trying to keep pace right now. He's keeping himself lined up on that outside run. Big run down the back stretch here. All alone, though. He is all by himself. Big Mac going to try to help out for a moment. That's not going to work out for him. McGregor drops back to the bottom in 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4 lined up all nose to tail. Throw a blanket over them. It's less than 0.2 of a second separating your top 3. Just about 0.3 separating your top 4. Collier Motorsports still dominating your podium spots. 1, 2, 3 on the track with Maffitt, Mitchell, and Collier all lined up, working well with each other. They're going to look to block that 71 out as long as they can. Big side draft here by the 71 of McGregor. He's trying everything he can to get a spot or two. And drivers going to make their way off of turn number 4, come to the stripe. This time around, we'll get the 1 to go here from Daytona International Super Speedway for Swift Motorsports. The final lap here at Daytona International Super Speedway. Top 3 on track. Still your Collier Motorsports drivers. Don't look for a big move at all here. Will they fan out and try to shake things up, though? Sean Mitchell looks to the outside. No! He's going to tuck back in line. Okie doke, that 71 just a little bit, but will it be enough to make McGregor get a run? He's hanging tough on the outside of Collier Motorsports owner Hunter. Can the 98 power back around the inside, and he's going to do so with ease. Here comes Sean Mitchell looking for the top spot. Big race to the line, contact. Mitchell sideways, and Mitchell gets it at the line. Sean Mitchell gonna edge out Pierce Maffitt right at the line in a big crash for the 71 of Todd McGregor and the 51 of John McMillan Sr. They're going to crash at the end of the race, but contact between teammates, and that puts Sean Mitchell at the front of the field. Pierce Maffitt gonna walk away with a second place here. Oh my goodness. That's gonna give us our 5th different leader with a final lead change on the night. What a run by these Collier Motorsports drivers. Hunter Collier on screen. This man right here almost walking away with a race win. Pierce Maffitt going to walk away in second here tonight. Doesn't look to be too happy. He's getting down to pit road very quick. Looks like he's going to have a chat with the 58's crew chief as Sean Mitchell begins to celebrate and have a smoke show on the front stretch for the race fans. We're going to step away, get things set up and ready to go for your post-race interview, so don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And well, it is not the one to go anymore. I don't know why I would say it was one to go again. Anyways, enough said about that. What a race here tonight under the lights at Daytona International Super Speedway. Do want to give an apology here to the drivers that finished 1, 2, 3 here. Collier Motorsports, no more. Revamped, renamed, and recharged. Peak Racing doing the unthinkable here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway, walking away with 1, 2, 3 from the track. So I tell you what, let's see if we can't jump and have a few words with one of the drivers walking away with a great finish here tonight. Let's see if we can't grab in a few words with the driver that walked away in the third position here tonight. Let's dial up that 98 of Hunter Collier. It's Dave in the booth. You got me. Hey, man, how you doing? How you feeling? After a good solid run for you and your entire team. Yeah, all of your drivers making the podium here. So a great way to start the season. But let's really talk about. Uh, was there any strategy involved after that last big caution when it was only about 4 or 5 of you drivers with no damage? Was there any team strategy from that point on, or was it just kind of hang it out until the end?
Oh, there was a lot of team strategy. We all communicated in order to get ourselves in position in order to get the win. We knew that Todd was fast all day, so we used some strategies, in order to keep all of us in the top three.
Well, the strategy.
Sorry,
Go
you
ahead.
can continue.
No, go ahead.
Lap cars were an issue the entire race. We had a couple cars going high when we told them to go low, cars going low when we told them to go high. Like towards the end there, I got really worried because they were. All right, and there's cars with damage, that are trying to go up in the middle of the track. Like it was a mess of all the lap cars today. But point is, we all got a top three, and it's just a good start to the season.
Yeah, again, Hunter, a great start for not just you and your team, but for the actual team, if that makes any type of sense that I said right there. But walking away with a podium here tonight, grabbing the first third place of the season here at Daytona. Before we let you go and enjoy tonight's celebrations, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
I like to thank Peak Racing. We just executed it perfectly tonight. I mean, I couldn't have asked for much better out of Daytona. So, obviously, got to thank the sponsors, LNJ Welding, Blues Diecast, all of those guys for sticking with us, throughout the seasons. Like to thank my parents as well, and Swift Motorsports and the admins, for keeping it good all race. There's no really silly calls throughout the entire night.
Absolutely. Well, once again, Hunter, congratulations on the third place here tonight. And we'll see if we can't catch up with you a little bit later on throughout this year.
All right. Thank you, Dave.
All right, there you have it. Final words from the driver walking away in third here tonight. That was Hunter Collier in the 98. Getting the job done here. Very happy with the way that not just his 98 team performed, but the entire Peak Racing team performed, and that's going to move us right along. Let's see if we can't catch up with the driver inside of that 41 machine, Pierce Maffett. It's Dave in the booth. You got your ears on, bud?
Yep.
Hey, man, how you doing? How you feeling? Even though you were so close to that race win, having your teammate beat you out at the last moment.
Well, I think you kind of answered your own question there. I don't know. I'm supposed to come up here and pretend I'm all happy because Peak won for free, which is, of course, great. But, there's part of me who's, selfish and wishes I won that.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think you'd be a race car driver if you didn't think you won that one. Does it make it any less painful knowing it was a teammate, or does that kind of sting a little bit more knowing that, that was your teammate that he could have just stayed where he was?
No, it's not that I didn't expect him to win. That makes that sting a little more. It's that I know I'm never going to hear the end of this.
Well, you won't hear the end of it until you get to victory lane, and then you can say, well, where were you at?
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, Pierce, my man, congratulations on a great second place run here tonight. Led a handful of laps here. You and the 41 crew had an amazing car, kept it out of trouble and clean. Uh, Great finish for you and Peak Racing as well here in the season opener. So before we let you go, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home?
Well, of course, Peak Racing, all my teammates here, they've been doing a good job. Blues Diecast, Matrix Designs, and yeah, just really the team dynamic here has really been good for the last few races.
Absolutely. Well, Pierce, so we know you're a fast driver, and we look forward to catching up with you again throughout the season in some more of these post race interviews. And we'll see if we can improve that one more spot next week at Charlotte. What do you say?
Hopefully, we'll see then.
All right, my man. Well, there you go, Pierce Maffett. Well, keeping it real, keeping it honest with the fans, with the viewers, with the sponsors. He's happy with second. To a certain point, really would have liked to have won that one. Teammate winning it or not doesn't really make it any better or worse. Just the fact remains he had it right there in front of him, and it was snatched away right there at the end by the man that walked away with the checkered flag. Let's see if we can dial up and have a few words with Sean Mitchell. It's Dave in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir, I do.
Hey, man, it's been a minute, but back in the post-race interviews and top of the board, checkered flag, you're set for the chase. How you feeling inside that 58?
I'm feeling great. Like, just overall great teamwork by Peak Racing today. Just executed perfectly. Just want to thank Hunter Collier, Logan Hartman, and Pierce Maffett for helping me out and all having faith in one another.
Well, walk us through the end of the race, really. You and your Peak Racing teammates all lined up 1, 2, 3, nose to tail on the speedway. Uh, whose decision was it to jump out of line and try for that race win, to try to snatch it from a teammate? I mean, was it just your call? Did the crew call it, or was it just you guys do what you do?
I mean, Hunter, he said I could do whatever I wanted off of four, and even though we're teammates, it's last lap. Um, if we were, if it was Hunter in second, he would have gone for it. If Pierce in second, I felt like he would have gone for it. We all would have gone for it if we had the opportunity. So I just feel like it's just a racing thing. We just last lap, all chips are down.
Absolute great answer right there, because I know that all of the fans out there watching and viewers, they know if they're sitting second coming off of four, teammate, mama, uncle, brother, cousin, it don't matter. I'm going for the checkered flag, and that's exactly what you did. More astonishingly though, some contact and no real incident coming from it. Um, was the bumpers necessary?
No, I don't think so. I think I was just surprised that I was able to just get the lead coming off of four because he hit me up high and I had to swerve high and I got loose coming into the tri-oval and then we just hit after the line. So really close finish. Did not think I would have it. So yeah.
Well, Sean, again, my man, congratulations on the first win of the season and setting yourself up for a chance to run for the championship here in season number 4 for Swift Motorsports. Butt Kicker Ayers iRacing Paints ARCA Series. So before we let you enjoy the celebrations and the rest of the speed weeks here in Daytona, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Peak Racing and just yeah, Blues Diecast for sponsoring me this season, and just my teammates overall for having faith in me and me having faith in them and trusting each other on the track. That's what I think makes racing so cool is that we can all work together for a full race and just execute it at the end.
Execute indeed, my man. So until next time, stay safe and enjoy this race win.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dave.
All right, there you have it. 58 of Sean Mitchell, ecstatic with the race win here. He's going to set himself up pretty with a shot at a championship, securing his spot by walking away with the win here tonight. From Daytona International Super Speedway, and that's going to wrap things up for the night for the first race here in Daytona for Swift Motorsports. That's right, Speed Weeks now underway for season number 4. Going to round out the 2021 year. And man, what a night it was. What a race we had here tonight. I don't think it can get very much better than that. And you can hear the producers hitting those buttons in the background. You know those familiar tunes. You know those familiar sounds. It's time to run down the unofficial race results here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway for Swift Motorsports. Butt kicker Ayer's iRacing Paints ARCA Series walking away with the first checkered flag of the year, the 58 of Sean Mitchell. Peak Racing teammate Pierce Maffin going to finish back in second, and rounding out the top 3, yet another Peak Performance Racing driver, Hunter Collier in the 98. They'll lock out the top 3 for Peak Racing. Todd McGregor going to finish in 4th, while John McMillan Sr. walks away in 5th. 22 of Jason Branch slots back in 6th. Jim Thorndike walks away from the track tonight in 7th. 8th place belongs to Lee Staples with Jerry Cochran in the 18. Your pole sitter finishing multiple laps down here tonight in the 9th position, and rounding out your top 10, the 14 of Lee Campbell. 88 of Noah Owens going to slot home in 11th. 12th place tonight belongs to Larry Bowling. 13th to Doug Blackman in the 25 machine. The 9 of Ryan Douglas finishes in 14th. Rounding out your top 5 is the top 15 is the newcomer inside the Menards 55 machine, Michael Aminti. 15 of Logan Hartman going to slot home in 16th. 17th goes to Eric Talent, while David Cameron pilots the 10 to an 18th finishing spot. 19th from the track here tonight is Jerry Cochran Jr. Tough break here tonight for the driver inside of the turn 334 Keystone Motorsports sponsored machine. Donald Bennett gonna walk away with the final spot on the track here tonight. He'll finish in 20th. Big shout out, tip of the cap, and you're welcome to the admins and race officials just down the hall. Gary Wells, Roy Fernandez, and Justin Gann keeping these drivers straight under the caution in restarts. Big shout out to them for all they do, not just here tonight, but what they've done in the previous seasons in races yet to come. Thank you, gentlemen. If you haven't already, drop these drivers that all important and loved a thumbs up. Click that subscribe button, and as always, smash that bell and get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.